Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the 10th annual Maya's Hope Lotus Ball Gala. Thank you all for being here. Tonight we are here to recognize groups and individuals that have made outstanding contributions to the lives of young children who often go unseen and forgotten. This year has brought many changes for us, as it probably has for you, and fortunately, Maya's Hope has been able to adapt and overcome through those changes and continue to serve children in need. The mission of Maya's Hope is to work to improve the quality of lives of orphaned, impoverished, and special needs children on a global scale. Whether providing funding for loving caregivers, vitamin-rich formula, or access to quality medical care, Maya's Hope improves lives, one child at a time. Before we go any further, a night like this would not be possible without our phenomenal sponsors. So I want to take a moment here to recognize our silver sponsors, John and Daria Berry Foundation, and our silver sponsor, Pardiwalla, along with our Hope sponsors, Dynamic Resources, the Fuller family, Elisabeth Melnitchenko, Monte Albers de Leon and Michael Meltzer, Cameron and Dan Suratt, Quyen Tran, Safety LLC, Tocqueville Asset Management, Yanna Begelman, David Estrakh, and our magician, Eric Wilzig. A big round of applause for all of our sponsors. I want to let everyone know we have our silent auction happening throughout the parlor area. You can just find all the silent auction items lining around the fireplaces, tables, break fronts, piano tops, what have you. Just go ahead and find the auction item that you are interested in, scan that QR code, and you can do some bidding there. Also, we have these wonderful, do you mind handing me one of those postcards right there, young lady? Well, thank you so much. Wow. If Vanna White ever goes out of a job, you can take over. We have these QR codes. We have our Fund a Need, our appeal for donations going on later. You're going to see this QR code right here in the corner. We're also going to have information up on the screen. Look at that. Boom shakalaka. There's a QR code up on the screen also. So we have you covered on QR codes, and we also have support staff throughout the room. Just take your smartphone, wave it nice and high like this, and somebody from Maya's Hope team is going to come help you out wherever you need. It sounds like I'm talking and helicopters chopping up there. So silent auction is happening, and our appeal is happening a little bit later. But right now, we want to recognize our attendees that are here, but also we have many people joining us online and virtually. So if we can get everyone to turn to the cameras in the back of the room, 1, 2, 3, give them a wave. There we go. Somebody on the internet is waving back at you right now. Very, very fun. Maya's Hope advances the education of children through access to sponsorship opportunities, educational materials, and field support. We have a short video for you here highlighting some of the children who are receiving an education thank you to your donations. Please.
According to figures from the Department of Education in the Philippines, 1 in 6 Filipino children will not attend school. Among the many causes of global poverty, one factor stands out: education. During the last 10 years, Maya's Hope Foundation has provided nutrition, medical supplies, and education to some of the poorest children on the planet. These are some of the children, and we asked them what they wanted to be when they grow up.
My name is Lucy and I'm getting an education thanks to the donors of Maya's Hope.
I'm Angelica P. Galvez, and I'm getting an education thanks to the donors of Maya's Hope.
Hi, I'm Abigail, a grade 12 student, I'm getting an educational thanks to the donors of Maya's Hope. My name is Wilfred. I'm from Slither, and I'm getting an education thanks to the donors of Maya's Hope.
Hi, my name is Randy Sana and I'm getting an education. Thanks to Dana Rafael.
My name is Jaime Martin and I'm getting an education thanks to donors of Maya's Hope.
My name is Jedeline Alyarces and I'm getting an education thanks to the donors of Maya's Hope.
My name is Andrea Jaina Lili and I'm getting an education thanks to the donors of the Maya's Hope.
My name is Lander Cruz and I'm getting an education thanks to the donors of Maya's Hope.
Maya's Hope, in short.
Donors of Maya's Hope.
Hi, my name is Randy Sana and I'm getting an education. Thanks to Dana Rafael.
My name is Jaime Martin and I'm getting an education thanks to donors of Maya's Hope.
My name is Jedeline Alyarces and I'm getting an education thanks to the donors of Maya's Hope.
My name is Andrea Jaina Lili and I'm getting an education thanks to the donors of the Maya's Hope.
My name is Lander Cruz and I'm getting an education thanks to the donors of Maya's Hope.
Maya's Hope ensured non-interrupted education for the children in the program throughout the pandemic. This included access to sponsorship opportunities, laptops, educational materials, and field support. There are over 205 children currently in the Maya's Hope sponsorship program. On behalf of all of the children of Maya's Hope, thank you.
As you can see from that video, Maya's Hope is doing things to change the lives of children around the world. And our host committee is doing a lot to help this evening come together so that Maya's Hope can continue to change lives. There's a lot of incredible people that make this night happen. Host committee is a team of dedicated people that put in a lot of work that makes tonight so special. Right now, we're going to recognize our top host for tonight's event. That is Gina Tega. All right. Now, I believe this sailboat is here for Gina. There we go. And I believe Michael Meltzer will be up here in just a moment to explain the significance of the sailboat. And you got some flowers there, too. All right, a big round of applause for Gina Tega. Our gala chairs are two incredible people who have made a tremendous contribution, commitment, and poured in hours of their time to help this evening come together. Please put your hands together for Julia Maksimova and Michael Meltzer.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lotus Ball. I think this is wireless, so I'll move. This is the 10th annual Lotus Ball. It's been 10 years, which is amazing. I'm Michael Meltzer. I am one of this year's Gala co-chairs.
And I'm Julia Maksimova, and this is the 10th annual Lotus Ball for Maya's Hope. This is a very special evening today, guys.
Thank you all for being here. We couldn't do this without all of you. And we've got a great program here tonight. We have a lot going on. We have our guest of honor, Stephen Tristan Young, who's coming up in a few minutes. We have our special guest, the Richardson family, who you'll hear from shortly. And we also have an amazing silent auction that's going on, which you can all access from your phones. It's www.biddingforgood.com/Maya's Hope. There'll be QR codes on there for it throughout the program. And I actually got this spiffy jacket from the Maya's Hope silent auction 2 years ago. So custom made. So, you know.
So in the next hour, you're going to see all the work that Maya's Hope is doing to help the children in need. And we need all your support, and we need all your hope in helping this amazing charity see another year.
Yeah, so anyway, thank you all for being here. We're going to, again, the silent auction is going on. Please bid from your phones. It's going on through November 21st. We'll also have a live appeal later that Andy will be hosting. And for those of you watching from home, don't worry, you are not excluded. You can bid in the live appeal too and make donations to Maya's Hope. So everyone is included. And thank you. So
we want to say, thank you so much for coming. I must say, it's so great to see all of you in one room. It's been amazing. Thank you so much. You're real New York. This is what New York is about, really. Thank you. The grit, the support, the community, just the hustle. I mean, it's amazing to see everybody. It's just delightful. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
And we're going to give this back to Andy now.
Thank you.
Michael and Julia, everyone. Maya's Hope facilitates emergency surgeries and procedures for impoverished children who have little hope, providing surgeries that are urgent, life-saving, or life-transforming. Here's the story of Yuhan in the Philippines, who received a vital surgery this year.
Children in the Philippines who live in extreme poverty lack access to quality healthcare. This is the story of Yuhan. He was born with a birth defect which greatly affected his life. Yuhan wanted to run and play with the other children, but it was difficult for him. Yuhan had had an emergency surgery to place a colostomy bag shortly after birth due to his condition, and unfortunately the stoma prolapsed a large portion of his bowel. Yuhan's father was a truck driver and had lost work since the pandemic.
Good morning.
Yuhan's mother reached out to us to ask for milk and diapers and colostomy bags. With rising bills to pay, things were getting more and more desperate, and she explained how she used plastic bags filled with ice instead, which often hurt him. In addition, his mom explained that Yuhan was also being bullied for leaking when he ran. His mother did the best she could, and despite his hardships, all Yuhan wanted was to go out and play and be a happy-go-lucky kid. She would carefully wrap everything up under his clothes and send him back out to play. When Maya saw Yuhan's condition, she immediately offered to help with his surgery. And off Yuhan went to get his swab test for COVID, his x-rays and scans, and finally his surgery.
I can't forget the day we met, your eyes so blue, me piercing through.
Thanks to the donors of Maya's Hope, Yuhan's surgery was a success. On behalf of Yuhan and all of the children of Maya's Hope who have received life-changing surgery, thank you.
Now please welcome to the stage Maya Crowder-Roof to present this year's Michael T. Meltzer Service Award.
So thank you all for being here. I'm happy to present this award of the Michael T. Meltzer Award of Service. So as you know, this is Michael T. Meltzer. He helped found Maya's Hope shipping things from my office, or Greg Myers, if you're in there, you know I was shipping like baby powder. That was me. And so Michael believed in me back then, so we created this award. And here are some of the other recipients. We have Yale Cohen, and we also have Keisha Melton. And so I am so happy to give the Michael T. Meltzer Award to Stephen Tristan Young. Hold on, it's here. I guess we need a photo op or something. Photo op.
Meltzer. All right, I'm jumping in. Michael Meltzer Award. Aurora.
Thank you, everyone at home, for your patience.
Good lighting matters.
We have budget.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on. Okay, that's good.
This really should be a video.
Okay. All right, wonderful. Here you go.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this for me?
Yes,
All
I'm
right.
happy to hold it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so if this craps out, I swear to God, I will start yelling. Everyone, good evening, everyone. It is so wonderful to see real live people and smiling, beautiful people in this room. So thank you all for coming. It's just amazing to see everyone here. And for those of you on YouTube watching at home, hello as well. First of all, aren't you glad this is not Zoom, right? Without all that Zoom awkwardness like, sorry, Bob, I was on mute. Or, Bob, can you hear me? And then Bob's all like, can you please get everyone on mute now too? So, and thankfully, most importantly, up here on stage, I won't have to say, Bob, you're still sharing your screen. And that's why I think seeing everyone in real life really matters, especially for something like this event where we can see all of these videos and really see the impact of the work. When Maya called me in mid-August, I was at a Starbucks, a little flustered. She told me about receiving this award. I was like ecstatic, I was emotional. She saw me, I was like crying. I'm like, oh my gosh. It was such a nice gesture of recognition. And for many of you who know me, you know, recognition and spotlight is not something I really like. So it was very hard for me. But honestly, in true spirit, I'm incredibly honored to receive the Michael T. Meltzer Award for Service. It's a huge thanks to everyone on the host committee, those who are here live, for those of you who are home in your pajamas, super jealous, and for all of you who have donated funds, prizes, to help Maya's Hope in its mission. I've been reflecting on the number of years I've been involved with the organization as a supporter, participant, champion of Maya's Hope in many, many ways. And it's really amazing to see how much the organization has changed, grown, and evolved. It has truly become an amazing community of people from all walks of life who care about these children and their well-being. Children from thousands of miles away, but that we think about and we care about when we see their photos and when we take an action to help support the organization. So many of these families have been touched by this group that, you know, in many shapes and forms, that it's hard for us to see it, and I think these videos make it come to life. You know, when the first time I met Maya and found about the foundation, I have to tell you, y'all, I was in awe, right? I was amazed to meet someone who I could tell from the minute one was not someone who was gonna back down, someone who would not take no for an answer, someone who would fight tirelessly and endlessly, and I swear I'm not talking about myself, all towards the goal of helping these beautiful children of God get the medical care that they need the most, and additionally, get the love and attention they deserve from people like us. In my eyes and in my world, Maya was the OG mother of dragons, y'all. She was Khaleesi before people even knew what the heck a Khaleesi was. She fights for these children in a way that I have never seen. And it is why I've been supporting this organization, and I always choose to advocate for it. It's a rare moment in all of our lives to meet someone such as Maya, an individual who gives so much of themselves every day, someone who gets everyone to give and to give even more. In writing these remarks the other day, randomly, I started thinking about math. Follow me on this. So much of the last 18 months has been about subtraction in our daily lives. Removing the connections that keep us alive, subtracting the habits that we have come to love, and seeing division in our families and communities due to, I don't know, let me take up my scroll of issues, that it is truly wonderful to see a moment like this where each one of us here, live and virtual, are a sum that is greater than the individual parts, a sum of energy that gives hope and love to so many children today and to future children of tomorrow. So, in the spirit of being brief, being bright, and being gone, I want to thank once again the entire committee for this award, the host committee for really helping to raise the funds, the volunteers, the on-the-ground staff, Maya, and to all of you for being part of this movement. It is my hope that as a list of social and global issues ahead of us in humanity continues to change and multiply, math once again, that we can keep organizations like Maya's Hope in our minds and in our hearts so that the input of each one of us equals to an output that really equates to love, generosity, care, and hope for these children in need. Thank you very much.
Very nicely done, Stephen. And I think putting math to it is a great way of putting it, because the sum here in this room is much greater than each individual part can be by itself. Now that you've heard from many people inside of the Maya's Hope organization, it's time to hear this year's story of our special guest. Please.
In Ukraine, parents of children with special needs are encouraged to hand their children over to state care. Forgotten in orphanages and institutions, the children deteriorate as they are subjected to abuse and neglect. This is the story of two of these children, Dasha and Vladi. Vladi was born in Ukraine in June 2003. His parents decided they could not care for him, and so he was sent to an orphanage where he spent his days laying in a crib. Days turned to months and months to years. He was transferred to an even worse institution. He was almost 16 years old and weighed just 30 pounds. Dasha was born in 2009, and she spent 5 years in an orphanage waiting. This little girl spent many birthdays alone. Until the Richardson family found the children and recognized them as their son and daughter. They decided to adopt 3 children from Ukraine. Dasha, Vladi, and another little boy called Estrakh. They came back to Ukraine in January 2020 for court and were given permission to take them out of the orphanage. They were not quite out of the woods yet. First, Vladi's lungs failed the TB X-ray, and he was not allowed entry to the USA for 8 weeks. Then COVID-19 happened. All flights cancelled. Vladi was barely hanging on. Then came a miracle. One flight out, and a wonderful family traveling back to the USA offered to care for him on the plane. A few hours later, Vladi was finally back in the arms of his mama. With Vladi, Dasha, and Ezra safely home, Jaime and Christopher began to nurse the children back to health. It's an ongoing process.
Are you laughing at your brother, Joe?
Vladi loves to snuggle, and now they get to celebrate birthdays. They are happy and cherished just as they should be. Dasha is a daddy's girl and loves to dance.
Dasha, you dancing with Daddy?
Good night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of a rainbow, so pretty in the sky, and also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you.
I want to remind everyone of our silent auction. Does anyone know when our silent auction ends? That's right, our silent auction that Michael Meltzer, that was going out to the audience because Bob had his microphone on mute earlier. Our silent auction is open for 4 more days, so be sure to check out the silent auction items and get your bids in and do the best that you can on finding stuff that you get there. I want to check in, how are we doing with our cable situation and our next video? All right, that might take a couple minutes. I think now might be a good time to go to the appeal, or do we want to see if we can get that settled up? All right, ladies and gentlemen, please do forgive us. We had a very nice video from the Richardson family that if and when the time comes, we are going to show that video to you. But now I feel is a good time to move to our appeal of donations to see. Oh yeah, that's right. Maya does have a speech ready, doesn't she?
All right. Well, not really.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the founder of Maya's Hope, Maya Crowder-Roof.
So thank you all for being here. This is, first of all, round of applause for every single person that came here tonight. Round of applause. And we got a kick-ass pianist back here. If got a little, he's like right under there. So first of all, I just want to thank you all again. I don't have a clock telling me, so if I talk too much, I apologize, Stephen. I think it's a Filipino thing. So I can't thank you guys enough, because this has 2020. I got to talk about 2020 because that's the big lemon in the room. It was full of lemons. It was like, I feel like we all got pelted by lemons. Yes? It was a crappy year, right? Like, some people couldn't work. Some people lost loved ones. Some people got really sick. It was a scary time. And I want to talk about how we all felt, because many of you probably were here during the lockdowns, right? It was scary. It was like Armageddon. And so I'm going to tell you how I started to turn things into lemonade, because that's sort of how I see life, is that there's always a way to turn that bad situation into something really beautiful. So lockdown was happening here, but guess what? There were lockdowns happening on the other side of the world. Our partners could not leave, could not leave your house. It means you cannot work. So our partners can't do anything. How are we supposed to help the children that were barely making it as it is? So my husband, God bless him, who's right here, saw that I was working till almost 3, 4 o'clock in the morning every single day during these lockdowns, trying to figure out how to get those kids to find Maya's Hope. So in the beginning, I would place orders for families that would find us, and I would order 3-month shipments and all of that, and I would ship it to them. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. It's not sustainable. My poor husband is like, doesn't have a wife anymore, because I'm like on my computer in the Philippines listening to all these sob stories about like, my husband can't work, and there's 6 children in the family. Like, how are we supposed to feed these kids? So what did we do? We built a team. So some of those team members are actually in this room. So if you saw Maria narrating, she's from Kentucky. Gina Tega actually is from California. Myra is from Queens. Mari flew here from the Philippines, pardon me, from Florida. She is from the Philippines. These people helped me get so much help to these kids who may not even be alive today if it wasn't for us. I would say that we've supported at least 200 new kids since the lockdowns happened. Thank you. But what really got to me was the hardships of trying to perform surgeries when all the hospitals are all filled with COVID patients. How do you deal with that? So what Maya's Hope did is our partners still could mobilize and get them into a private hospital. And we did many surgeries. A lot of those mothers, and most of them are mothers, were terrified that their kid might get surgery, but they might get COVID at the same time. We took those risks, and we have performed more than 40 surgeries in the Philippines that saved the lives of these kids. Now, you saw Yuhan. That was done last year. We did many surgeries. We did cranial surgeries. We did a tongue reconstructive surgery, because guess what? If you have a big cyst in your mouth, you cannot breathe. It obstructs your breathing. So these children would not have had the care if our team did not mobilize. So I cannot do Maya's Hope with just myself. It's because of people like you that support our mission. It is the team that works tirelessly. They're actually doing interviews probably as I'm here on YouTube. Hello, Marlene and others on our team. So I just wanted to say that we're making lemonade tonight. You guys all came here tonight. We're so blessed. Every single one of us in this room is able to be here. We can hug each other, we can touch each other, and we can drink and be merry. On the other side of the world, it may not be like that, but they're so grateful for you guys to be here tonight. They're so grateful. The messages that they send us are so heartbreaking because they have nothing else to give us besides thank you. That's all they can. So on behalf of all the children that we serve daily, and who've been in our program for 10 years, they're so grateful. And so we continue to make lemonade, and I'm so grateful again for every single one of you who are here. And I do see Matt Barry. He is actually one of our silver sponsors, and I just want to make a shout out. Yes. Been trying to get him to come here for many years. So anyways, thank you all, and let's continue to make lemonade. You guys are wonderful and beautiful. Thank you all for being here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Maya Crowderoof and the pianist. You saw part of the story of Vladi and Dasha Richardson. Now you're going to hear from their mother, Jaime. Please.
Ball attendees and Maya, thank you for inviting me and my tribe. Hi, Lotus Ball attendees and Maya. Thank you for inviting me and my tribe to come be a part of your 10th anniversary gala here in New York City and virtually. I'm sorry that I can't be there in person, but I'm really glad to be here virtually and be able to talk to you a little bit about our family. I'm sorry also that the rest of my tribe is not here. As you can imagine, trying to coordinate 16 schedules can get a little crazy, but I am here and I will try to send as many videos and pictures along of the rest of the tribe as I can. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about our family. We're from upstate New York and are now Hoosiers over in Indiana. We've been here since 2017. We started our family as foster parents, actually, my husband and I. Chris and I were married pretty young, early 20s, and he wanted 12 kids, I wanted 4, so he obviously won. We started out by fostering. I'm an only child and was a little insecure about the idea of parenting if I could even do it. So foster care sounded like a great in-between. I could try to help my community, be a mom, but if I was really bad at it, it wasn't a lifetime commitment. It was a couple weeks or a couple months. Soon we found that we just really loved parenting and that it was more than just something we could do. It was really God's call in our lives, is to be parents, particularly parents to kids who didn't have a stable home environment to call their own. So we were foster parents in New York for 10 years. Through that time, we fostered 30 children and were able to adopt 6 of those children. So we have this wonderful little tribe of upstate New Yorkers as part of our family. And then we started following a Facebook group called Reese's Rainbow. Through that, we saw lots of posts about children in need of families. We learned about what was going on in China, particularly with children with Down syndrome and needing families. I was working on my MSW, flew to China, got to go into some of these orphanages. And then one day I saw a post on the Facebook group of these little girls who were supposed to be twins, who were going to have to be adopted separately if they couldn't find a family for them. That night, we were up all night doing paperwork, starting the process of flying to China to adopt Emabel and Adelaide, our first daughters. So at that point, we had 9 children. We got to the point where we thought we were done. We actually were driving to church one day, overwhelmed with kids yelling in the background, and thought, we looked at each other and said, we're actually done. And then the next day we got a phone call. And that phone call led to our daughter, Josephine. Josephine is the little princess of the family, or some of the kids in the family say she's the president because she runs the house. She's 3.5, has cerebral palsy, and is the most amazing little rutabaga you would ever meet. I say rutabaga because they told us at the hospital she'd be in a lifelong vegetative state, but we're constantly telling her that she has failed because she laughs, she sings, she has amazing relationships, and she is growing into all that God created her to be. But a little bit of a back step. We wouldn't have had the confidence to say yes to Josephine if it wasn't for a little boy we met in 2015 named Remy. We were foster parents still in New York, and we heard about a little boy in Cleveland, Ohio, who had a really rare genetic condition. It was a life-limiting condition. He wouldn't live through his 20s. He was 5 at the time, and he needed a family. We looked at him and saw his smile and fell in love. Then we saw his diagnostic list and got overwhelmed. But we knew that God was telling us to move forward towards Remy. We ended up going to Cleveland, matching with him to adopt him through foster care, and within a couple weeks, his large intestine transversed, which was a very serious thing. He survived surgery, he did wonderfully, but was in and out of the hospital that entire summer of 2015. We would drive back and forth to Cleveland whenever he'd be hospitalized, but the paperwork was taking a long time to bring him home. In early September of that year, the day all the paperwork came through, our son had an asthma attack and died. So we never got to bring our Remy home, and that was devastating to us. But through the journey we were on with Remy and all the questions we had for God of why, we eventually learned that part of that why was that he was preparing us, God and our Remy Joe, to be the parents of children with more significant special needs. That led us to saying yes to our girls in China with Down syndrome and autism, and eventually to say yes to Josie. A little while after bringing Josie home, we really did think we were done. And then we saw some posts from Keisha, who works with Maya's Hope. And she was posting on Facebook about these children in Ukraine with significant medical needs who needed families. We saw videos and pictures of Vladislav, and he was 16 at the time, 12 kilos, dying in a crib in Ukraine, on the verge of death, skin and bones, looked like he had come out of a concentration camp. We couldn't look away, and I kept messaging and talking and messaging with Keisha, and she was so patient with all my questions. And that led to us starting the adoption process of heading to Ukraine. We ended up adopting Vladislav, Ezra, and Dasha. And Vladislav and Dasha are alive today because of Maya's Hope. The organization sent money and caretakers and food and even paid for surgery for Dasha when she would have died otherwise. My children were holding on to life when we got there, but they wouldn't have even had that if it wasn't for Maya's hope. Their advocacy to let us even know they existed on the other side of the world, the medical care, the food, the nourishment, the caretakers, and the hope that they provided to my children. If it wasn't for Maya's hope, Vladislav and Dasha would not be part of the Richardson tribe today. So I cannot thank Maya and the organization Maya's Hope enough for what they've done for hundreds of children, but 2 of them specifically being my babies that are home and alive today because of Maya's Hope. Thank you guys so much for all you're doing, for the donations that you're bringing to this organization, for the way you're helping impact your world by being a part of Maya's Hope and everything she's doing. Thank you, and have a great night.
It's stories like that about Vladi and Dasha Richardson and the Richardson family and their generosity of the heart that helps Maya's Hope complete the mission for young children like Dasha and Vladi. Our goal tonight is to raise $150,000 so that we can continue to support the children that need Maya's Hope. Your donation will go directly to supporting programs and services, and no donation is too small or too large. So we have our donation meter that's going to be coming up on the screen in just a moment. To make your donations, all you have to do is send a text message to 801-801, and in that message you need to write "Give Hope," I believe is what it needs to say. Correct. Yes, I got that one right. All right. If anyone needs help making donations, we have our support team. Put those pink hats up high in the air. Let them see who you are. Let's get a couple people on each support team up here to the front so they can see you. Why don't 2 of you come down here? 2 of you come down here so that people can see you. If you need help making a donation, we have our support team that is here and ready to help. And we are going to start our donations at a high level because we believe in always striving for more each and every year. Our first donation amount that we're asking for is $10,000. Do we have a $10,000 donation in the room? A $10,000 donation from Mr. Stephen Young. Thank you, Stephen Young. That is very kind and very generous, and there are more Vladis and Dashas out there that are grateful for that. Do we have any other donations of $10,000? Online, if we have an online donation of $10,000, please notify me in the back. $10,000 donation. Stephen Young, 2 big thumbs up to you. Oh, Maya has an announcement to make here.
Stephanie and Philippe Dauman are also making a bid for $10,000. So that is our second bid.
All right, Stephanie and Philippe, thank you. 2 donations of $10,000. All right, any more $10,000 donations coming in? We have one more $10,000 donation, gentlemen in the back. Thank you so very much. $10,000 donation. Moving on to $5,000. Say your name, young man. He doesn't want to say his name, but he's in the back. All right. Moving on to $5,000. Do we have any $5,000 donations? Lovely lady Jackie in the back there. $5,000 donation. Long distance high five. There we go. Any more $5,000 donations? Young man that looks like Roger Federer right here in a business suit. Thank you for your $5,000 donation. All right, do we have any other $5,000 donations? A $5,000 donation goes to contribute to a major surgery for a young child. Any more $5,000 donations? 1, 2, right here. Buckle my shoe. Thank you and thank you. Our support team will come see you, or if you need any help, or you can just make your donation directly. $5,000 donations. Any more $5,000 donations? Going around the room, going once, $5,000 going twice. Going on to $2,500. $2,500. Do we have any $2,500 donations? Mr. Clean in the back. $2,500 donation. Thank you so very much. Do we have any more $2,500 donations? $2,500 donations. Looking for hands raised, looking for smartphones raised, looking for Maya flapping her wing at me. She's got something to say.
Some of our host committee members could not join us, so they have told me that they would. Simon Brendan from Miami, Florida, will be doing $2,500.
All right. Thank you, Simon Brennan. And Maya, I set up a microphone. You can just chime in anytime now, right there for you. There we go. Just up on your perch and say what you got to say. $2,500 donations. Do we have any more $2,500 donations? Looks like we are getting closer and closer to our goal. There is our donation meter. $2,500 going around the room, $2,500. All right, moving on to $1,000. Do we have any $1,000 donations? Look at these guys. They're like Arnold and Dan raising their hands like twins. $2,500 donations. Michael Meltzer, $2,500 donation. Oh, $1,000. Whoa, look at me. I got all excited there. $1,000 donation. The mind is slower than the mouth. All right, $1,000 donation. $1,000 donation. All right, right here, raising your hand. Thank you so much, sir. $1,000 donation. Make that donation on your smartphone or just wave your hand and someone from our support team will come help you out. $1,000 donations going around the room. Do we have any more $1,000 donations? Scanning the room. Looks like he's taking a selfie there. Almost made a $1,000 donation. All right, any more $1,000 donations? Oh, lovely lady right here. Thank you so much for your $1,000 donation. Okay, $1,000 donations going once. Any more? Going twice. I saw somebody brush her hair. That was almost a donation. Going on to $500. Do we have any $500 donations? $500 donors. Who can make a $500 donation? Very handsome man right here in this suit with the lovely lady. $500 donation. Thank you so very much for your contribution. Do we have any other $500 donations? I swear no more taking selfies. That's like the fourth one I've seen, and I think they're making a donation call. All right, do we have any $500 donations going around the room? Beautiful blonde lady right here. The $500 donation. Thank you so much. $500 donations. Do we have anyone else in the room to make $500 donation? Moving on to $250. Who can make a $250 donation? Oh, lovely. Whoa, my goodness. That's the most gorgeous woman I've seen tonight right there in that pink dress. Hopefully, I'll be going home with her later tonight. Thank you so much for that $250 donation. You are one hot woman. All right, any other $250? Oh, there we go. Another hot lady. There we go. $250 and hot ladies seem to be going together. No offense, but she's hotter to me. All right, $250 donations. Lovely lady right there by the wall being shy and nebbish. Thank you for your $250 donation. Any more $250 donations? There we go. Steve Maya chipping in. Thank you so much. Another one in the back. Use your smartphones to make these donations or support team and they will help you out. $250 donations. Gentleman raising his hand right here. $250 donation. Thank you so much. All right, $250 donations. Oh, we've got some waving. Thank you for your $250 donation. All right, any more $250 donations going around the room? $250 donations. Well, in the interest of saving some time here, we're going to end our appeal for donations right there. I want to remind everyone you can continue to donate through the night and help us to reach our goal. I'm going to keep talking until this microphone.
All right. So this is a virtual event. So just so you know, there might be some YouTube people over there. So if you have made any pledges, our team will gladly take them. So I just wanted to at least acknowledge everybody out there on YouTube. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Acknowledging everyone on YouTube. Let's turn and give them a wave one more time for all of our virtual attendees. They're seeing you make these donations, and now you're waving to acknowledge them. Again, donations will continue to remain open. If you need any help, see our support staff or go see Michael Meltzer or Gina Tiga. At this time, I want to also, yes, our silent auction is open for 4 more days, so go ahead and check those items out as we are wrapping up here. Looks like we are getting closer and closer to our goal. And as we wrap things up, we've got Musiquita coming to the stage to do some fun music for you. But I think Michael Meltzer said he might have something up his sleeve. So, Michael, I'm going to ask you to come up to the stage. Maria and Gina Tega, if you could also come up and be at the side of the stage, that would be great. I'm going to pass it over to the one, the only, Michael Meltzer.
Thank you. Thank you, Andy. Thank you all for your support. I mean, this is an amazing night. I think this goal meter is not updating in real time because we're probably at least 150,000 by now. But it's been 10 years of like sweat and tears and hard work, and it could not happen without Maya. So Maya, please come up here. And on behalf of all of us at Maya's Hope, we just want to give you these flowers and acknowledge how amazing you are. Oh, we love you. And in addition to Maya, we have we have so many people that have contributed to tonight, but a couple in particular, Gina and Maria, if you could please come up here too. We just like to share with you, I don't know where your flowers are. There they are. Rob has them. That's Maya's husband. These are for Maria. And Gina's probably dealing with the sound system somewhere. So anyway, we have flowers for you later, but thank you, Gina.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for being a part of this evening. Another big round of applause for Maya, for Maya's Hope, for the host committee, Michael Meltzer, Julia Maksimova, Vladi and Dasha and the Richardson family, and everyone and everything that you guys are doing to help tonight, to help future children. Stephen Young, for your generous contributions, your service, and your effort. Thank you all so very much. One big more round of applause for everyone as we send it over to Musiquita.